What is up, everybody? Steve K, Christine V, and Carla S here with you all with another video. For this video, I'm going to be doing my week 2, number 2. It is a number 2, get it? My NFL predictions for the next games. I apologize about not doing week 1. The reason is because that I was a little bit busy. I just didn't have time to really do the predictions, but that's okay. I did my week 1 NFL recap one. It's on my YouTube. Go check that out now, and also subscribe as well so you don't miss a video, or the rest of the videos are on my channel. Anyway, so we're going to go over some of the games like from week 1. Like, I'll tell you like what happened with them in case like you don't know what happened, and then we'll just get into these. So here we go. There are no teams on bye weeks. In other words, there's no teams that won't be playing this week, but they will be getting some bye weeks pretty soon. So here we go. Our first one is our Thursday night football matchup between, as the helmet is disappearing there for some reason, but anyway, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Both well, I mean, you can if you want to. I mean, nice. But anyway, both of these teams are coming off a loss. Both of them are 0-1. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I mean, they kind of surprised me a little bit because I thought they were going to beat the San Francisco 49ers, but instead they didn't. And the Panthers barely lost to the Rams by a score of 30-27. So for this one, yeah, it was. So, oh wow, the scores are right there on top on the computer screen. I'm looking at it on my phone. Well, that's okay. I mean, I got it here as well. But anyway, for this game, I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. I mean, the Buccaneers put up a pretty good fight, and so did the Panthers as well. But one team is hopefully going to win, and I say hopefully because we don't want it ending in a tie, like one game to end in a tie between the Lions and Cardinals. Some reason. So I don't think we're going to have another tie for this one. So, again, I'm going with the Panthers to get the win. Final score, 28-8-16. 28-16. Now we get into our Sunday games. Now for that one we'll get to in a second, but we'll do this one. We have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington Redskins in Landover, Maryland. The Cowboys come off their victory, and the Redskins come off a loss against the Eagles, where the Redskins pretty much had the lead like in the first half, like 20-0, and the Eagles came back and won it. So the fly like an Eagles came back to victory and got the win. So there you go. And the Cowboys pretty much took care of the Giants 35-17. So yeah, sorry for Eddie, because Eddie Lopez, one of my friends who is a big Giants fan, I mean, that's the way it goes in football. But anyway, yep, Tim McClellan's Cowboys, that's right, as I forget they're his favorite, and I'm pretty sure I know who he's going with, and I'm actually going with the Cowboys as well in this one. I mean, Redskins have given the Cowboys a pretty good fight because I think, you know, they're in their same division as well, but yeah, I'm picking the Cowboys in this one. 26-14. Redskins could put up more than that, but for now I'm just going with that pick for right now. Next one, the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans absolutely destroyed the Cleveland Browns by winning the game 43-13. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people were picking the Browns to win because it was in Cleveland, but the Titans just were pretty much the better team than they were. The Colts come off their loss against the Chargers in overtime, surprisingly. I thought the Chargers were just going to take care of them, just like that. But It's tough for the Colts because their quarterback, Andrew Luck, has now retired, and now they got Jacoby Brissett, I believe it's pronounced, to take over his spot. But it could be that Brian Hoyer guy that took over, who was the backup to Tom Brady. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be, yeah, that guy. Pretty sure it's going to be Brissett getting the start. But I don't think it's going to help him because I think it's going to go in favor to the Tennessee Titans in this. Yes, it is in Tennessee, but even though I pick the home team mostly, but sometimes I go with the away team, but you never know. So Titans over the Colts, 30-18. Yep. 8. Because I'm 18 and I don't know what I want. Alright, now we get into this matchup. The Seattle Seahawks taking on the Pittsburgh Squealers in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I know Lucas is a big fan of them, and I like to call them the Squealers for the fun of it. I mean, even though Roethlisberger's a good quarterback, but that's... Yeah, of course they do. They were certainly doing that against the Patriots as they only put up 3 points. I mean, what the hell? Yeah, what the hell? Only 3 points. I know Lucas was not too happy about that, but hey, I mean... Anyway, but... God, Lucas is going to be so pissed at me about this. I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks to win over the Steelers, because... That's pretty much my pick. I mean, the Seahawks played great, and the Steelers only put up 3 frickin' points. I mean, I know he's going to be so pissed at me, and and if he sees this, he's going to be throwing everything in his room. But hey, it's a prediction, man. But anyway, oh God. So anyway, Seahawks over the Steelers, 33-23. Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to score just 3 points again. I mean, I'm sure they're going to get more than that, but it would be funny if they did, but we shall see. Our next one is the Buffalo Wild Wing Bills and the New Jersey York whatever Giants. A battle of these two teams, the Bills coming off their victory and the Giants coming off their loss, as I mentioned. This one, I'm not really a whole lot to say about this one, but I know Eddie is a big Giants fan because I know he's going to be rooting for them. And the Buffalo Bills, yeah, even though they got the win, but I don't know. I think this game's going to be a pretty close one, and I think it's going to go in favor to the... I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I was going to go with the Giants, but then I looked over and just said... Nah, I think I'm going to try the Bills in this one. Just to give it, yeah, the Bills. Oh, Buffalo Wild Wing Bills for the win. 23-20. I think it's going to be pretty close by that and going to come down to a field goal. Next one, the San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals, or Bengals. The 49ers come off that huge victory against... the Buccaneers, and the Bengals come off their loss against the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. Now, the 49ers, yeah, they did play pretty well, but the Bengals only lost by just 1 point. Now, this is maybe a little bit surprising a little bit, but I'm going to go with the 49ers. I mean, it could go in favor to the Bengals, but I'm going with my first choice, and again, that is the 49ers. Just get out of the way really quick. 26-23. Next one, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, yeah, there was a lot of roar in that game because the Lions wound up finishing in a tie against the Cardinals. I mean, that's what I don't like sometimes, is they should have 2 overtimes instead of just 1 overtime. There used to be 2 overtimes until we have a winner. But that's the way it is in football, and they just sometimes never, stop changing the rules a lot of times. But that's their choice. I'm going with the Chargers in this one because they are a good team, and the Lions are too, but I think it's just going to go in favor to the Chargers. 33-23. Yay, hun. Our next one, the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Two football teams that Brett Favre played for in his career. He spent most of his career with the Green Bay Packers, but he did spend a year or two with the Minnesota Vikings. The Packers come off their victory on Thursday Night Football against the Bears by a score of only 10-3. Yeah, and the Minnesota Vikings come off a win as well too. They faced the Atlanta Falcons, which was kind of surprising to me because I thought the Falcons would get the win. I'm going with the Packers in this one. Go Pack Go. 24-17. Next we have the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans in Houston. Both teams are winless right now. Unfortunately, the Jaguars lost their quarterback, Nick Foles, to an injury. He hurt his collar. Yeah, he hurt his collarbone, and it's going to put him out for a good while. I don't know how long he's going to be out. I mean, I don't know if they said he's out for the season, but they did sign another quarterback. And I was going to, as much as I don't want to bring it up, there was words or rumors that the Jacksonville Jaguars were talking to Colin Kaepernick about him possibly being the quarterback, but luckily that did not happen, and I know some people are still fans of him, but I for one am not. So instead, the Jaguars signed another quarterback. I don't know who it is or what his name was, but that's okay. The Houston Texans, come off their loss, but I think it's going to be no problem for Houston, no pun intended, you know what I mean. I say the Houston Texans get the win over the Jaguars, 26-16, 10-point game. Now we get into this one where another certain person is going to hate me, and some people will like me for this one. The New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, I know Lucas is already pissed at me for what I did, but I'm pretty sure Alex, will probably be... I mean, I know he's going to be a little bit pissed with me that I'm not going to be going with his team because of the fact that I am picking the Patriots in this one, unfortunately. I would love to see the Dolphins do another victory like when they came back from behind and wound up getting the win over the Patriots last year, but unfortunately, the Patriots played like a Super Bowl team by winning against the Steelers 33-3, and the Dolphins looked like absolute crap against the Ravens. Sorry to say that, Alex, but it's the way it goes in football. But anyway, I mean, I'm sure the Dolphins are going to do pretty good in this one, and I hope they start Rosen instead of that other guy that started Fitzpatrick. I mean, that guy is 37 and he needs to retire. I mean, yeah, Tom Brady is like 41 or 42, 41, thank you. But Tom Brady has been doing it for years, and not only that, he's had several players, backing him up, like Randy Moss, Deion Branch, Corey Dillon, and many other players, that have been there that he's found targets to throw to. But the Dolphins just don't have anybody to throw to. I mean, yeah, they did get a touchdown, but that's the way it is. But the Dolphins will get their first win, but it ain't going to be against the Patriots. If they would, then, yeah, that'd be something. So Patriots over the Dolphins, 28-14. And now we get into my game. The Arizona Cardinals taking on the Baltimore Ravens. So yeah, I mean, the Arizona Cardinals come off the tie against the Lions, and the Ravens come off that huge, amazing win against the Dolphins, 59-10. Lamar Jackson threw 5 touchdowns, and to all you haters there that say that he can't throw and all he does is just run the ball, well, what do you haters think now, huh? And also, here's another thing. A lot of my friends on Facebook were saying, what do you think the score is going to be in the Ravens and Dolphins game if the Ravens win? I threw a prediction and said 53-0. And look what happened. The Ravens put up 59 points. I mean, yeah, I nearly called it, but look at how many points they put up. And two of my friends, including Putnam, said to me, it's not going to be that big of a score. Well, what do you think of that score now, huh? And yeah, some people are giving the Ravens a little bit of crap because they went for it when they were going to punt the ball, but instead they ran it. But that's the way it goes in football. I mean, several other teams do that too, and we probably should have scored 60 points, but we decided just to leave it as that. And that's the way it goes. Now for this one, this is the return of Terrell Suggs, who has been with the Ravens since the early 2000s, like 2002 or 2003. And now he's an Arizona Cardinal. And we got a new defense. Like no more C.J. Mosley, who went to the Jets, Eric Weddle, who went to the Rams, and of course Terrell Suggs, who went to the Cardinals. And this should be pretty interesting. I mean, he's going to, do his best, do whatever he can in this game. But the Ravens will not have one of their cornerbacks, Jimmy Smith, who had a bad knee injury, but hopefully he'll be back in maybe about 3 weeks, maybe, whatever, it may be. So for this one, no doubt, of course, I'm picking the Ravens. I mean, we played really well in that one game, and I don't think it's going to be a high score in this one, but I just think it'll be about 30, no, not that much, 26 points for the Ravens and 13 for the Cardinals. I think be just like that. All right, so now we're finished that, and now let's go to our 4 o'clock games, the later games after these, like the games on the West Coast or just games, well, mostly on the West Coast. So here we go. First one, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. So the Chiefs come off their victory, as I mentioned. The Raiders come off their victory on Monday Night Football against the Broncos. Yeah, because the Denver Broncos had to play them on Monday Night Football at 10 Eastern, and because it was on the West Coast and it was like 7 o'clock there. But yeah, I didn't even see the Broncos on the schedule. I kept looking at week 1. I'm like, where the heck are the Broncos? And I see it, and then they had to face them on Monday Night Football. I'm like, oh. So anyway, this should be a pretty good matchup, though. I mean, the Raiders, played pretty well against them. I thought the Broncos were going to put up more points than that, but the Chiefs look absolutely outstanding, and I think this is going to be a pretty close matchup, but I think the Chiefs will get this one 33-26. I think it's going to be somewhere like that. Next, we have another good matchup, but this is the rematch of the NFC Championship game, I believe. The New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, the Saints face, for those of you that don't, the Rams face against the Saints at the Superdome in the NFC Championship game, where the Saints were this close to winning the game and going to the Super Bowl to face the Patriots. Instead, the referee did not call a clear pass interference call on the Rams, which should have been called, so instead the Rams won the damn game and went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots. So, this is pretty much a rematch, but it's in Los Angeles. But it still should be a pretty good matchup, though. And now, I forgot to mention, there's a new thing they have in this NFL season. There are now calls where you can look and see if it was a pass interference call. So, just a new thing they added in the NFL. It might be a good thing, it may not be, but we'll see. For this matchup, I think this is definitely going to come down to a field goal. I don't think it's going to go into overtime, though, but I think that this is probably going to be a matchup to watch. So, I am going to go with the Saints in this one, just because I'm just going with that pick. I mean, I could go with the hometown team, but I'm just going to go with the Saints in this one. 33-30. Because I think it's definitely going to be somewhere close to that. Next one, we got the Chicago Bears, and the and the Denver Broncos in Denver. Joe Flacco makes his home debut in Denver as a Bronco. He made his debut for the Broncos against the Oakland Raiders, but it wasn't in Denver, so now he makes his home debut. Now, I'm pretty sure that Joe Flacco is going to do pretty good. He did do pretty well against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. He did throw a touchdown, but he's having a little bit of trouble like getting used to being on the team. I mean, yes, he's been with the Ravens for 10 years. I mean, that's hard for anybody. I mean, like Peyton Manning, when Peyton Manning played for the Indianapolis Colts for several years and he went to the Denver Broncos and he wound up winning a Super Bowl ring like years later, but it took some time for him to get used to it. I mean, but I hope Joe Flacco does really well with them. I mean, he's a great quarterback and I do miss him with the Ravens, but I'm pretty sure he will do very, very good with the Broncos. So there you go. And I'm picking the Broncos to win this one because I'm pretty sure, once again, that it's going to be a pretty good matchup. Broncos 26 and Bears 17. As my phone goes off, and it was just a message from Messenger, but that's alright. Next one is our Sunday Night Football matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. Should be a pretty good Sunday Night Football matchup. I mean, the Eagles come off the victory and the Falcons come off a loss. Personally in this one, I like the Eagles personally in this one because the Eagles did come off that come from behind victory and the Falcons is pretty much didn't get everything going against the Vikings. So, Eagles 30 and Falcons 23. 30-23. And now our last game. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Monday Night Football between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jersey Jets. I say that because, yeah, I know that, but you know what I mean. Alright, so for this matchup, this is not really a Monday Night Football matchup. It's just like something like to brag about a lot of times. I mean, you never know, but this matchup, you know, could be okay, or it just could be a game where people are like, okay, I'm turning the channel, I'm not really interested in this. But I'm going to just take a shot at this one. I'm going to go with the Jets in this. The Browns, you know, they got all these new players like Odell Beckham, and they got Baker Mayfield, their quarterback, and a few other players too. But I still think it's going to go in favor to the Jets. I think it's going to be pretty close, though. Jets 26 and Browns, 23. Yeah. So there you go. That's it. That is going to wrap it up for week 2. Frickin' 2. God. Week 2 picks. Anyway, so thanks for watching that tongue twister of a show, everybody. So thank you to these wonderful ladies for joining me for this. I appreciate that. And so thank you all for joining us as well. As always, if you like this, hit the like button, comment, no negative stuff, subscribe. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, and you all take care, and thanks again for watching this video.